สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who's interested is welcome to join. We are live streaming at the same time on YouTube and Facebook. So anyone who enters the room, if you turn on your camera, then we can talk. Okay, we'll go to old Sim first. Old Sim, I'm sorry.
Good evening, Tan Ajaan. Tonight I have no question. Enjoy listening to your
Okay,
advice.
go to Marco from the Netherlands. Hi, Marco.
Hello, Ajaan.
How's
How are you
life
today?
treating you? Good?
Better and better every day.
Mm.
Making lots of progress. Also seeing a lot of rooms for improvement, to say positively. Noticing that I changed my my object of anchoring during meditation. I used to do trying to do Putto when I was doing meditating, and I always was getting drowsy. And Ajaan was kind enough to give me last time the suggestion less eating. So I've been doing 8 precepts now for 2 days. Last week also 2 days, and the meditation is going better. But I changed my my anchor to actually the first 5 parts of the body, Kesaloma, Nagadantatacho, and I'm noticing by chanting that I'm not getting drowsy. So I have a feeling that that's better than the breathing. When I do the walking meditation, I do focus on the breath, but it's easier. I don't get drowsy when I'm doing the walking meditation. But I would like to ask, because I read in the book from Luang Tamabua that the changing of the object is something that you really shouldn't really aim for, not do often. And I now made a change to try to do it differently. I would like to ask Ajahn, is that the right approach?
I think you mean when you're sitting in meditation, if you decide to have any one type of meditation, then you should stick to that type. But unless there is some reason for changing, like maybe when you're starting, you cannot focus on your breath, you feel drowsy, so you might want to use the 5 parts of the body or the 32 parts of the body. Some people use chanting to calm the mind down or wake up the mind with mindfulness. And once you find that you can focus on your breath, then you can switch to the breath. Because to really get the mind to be real calm and still, you need to focus on the breath, I think. But anyway, you can experiment. That's part of the practice, is to trial and error. Try which method works for you.
I'm noticing I'm greedy for result and I don't want to be drowsy anymore. So I'm trying to use this approach, and I think that it was successful now. I'm gonna keep trying this. But you were mentioning also the chanting. What kind of chant would be a beneficial one or a good one?
Anyone you can remember. Short or long doesn't matter. If it's a short one, you can repeat it several times. Just keep repeating. Like Buddhang Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, for instance. You can just keep doing this over and over again, repeating. Sometimes you can use a sutta you like. When I first started, I chant the four foundation of mindfulness sutta, translated into English. I chant in English so I can understand what I'm chanting also. So it's a matter of preference, I guess, and your state of mind at that time. What's the right method for it at that particular time?
And that also would help with the contemplation of what you're chanting then at that point, right?
That's right. With the four foundation of mindfulness, you learn the body, the nature of the body, the nature of feeling, and the nature of the mind as you chant along in English. But if you chant in Pali, you might not understand what the meaning is. So I use that when I first started learning to meditate. I cannot focus on my breath yet, so I do the chanting, do the four foundation of mindfulness. Take about 40 minutes, I think, something like that. By that time, the mind becomes calm and able to focus on the breath.
Okay, that's a really good one. I'm gonna try it. So I have a book. So I started doing every day, morning and evening, chanting. And it is in Pali that I'm chanting, but there's a translation there as well. And I'm doing that on purpose because I like the Pali way of chanting. I like the sound of it, but it's probably a better idea to do it in English because then I can contemplate better what I'm chanting.
That's right. It depends on what you want. If you want to understand, then you need to do it in the language you understand. But if you just want to use it as a focused object, then you don't need to understand. Then you can use the Pali, whatever is suitable for you.
Thank you, Ajahn. And also one of the things that I've been noticing is that the lustful feelings are going down because of the meditation or the contemplation of the body. And I'm really seeing it now as repulsive, really, also because of the Asupa training. I have a feeling now that I'm also observing more my own body suffering, where in the past I wouldn't really notice my body hurting, but now when I'm doing the walking meditation, I'm actually observing that my feet do actually hurt and my ankles do actually hurt. Is that a logical result of being more mindful about the suffering, or is that just because I'm getting old?
Well, painful feeling from the body always exists from time of birth. Sometimes we just didn't pay attention to it or we forget it. We get a headache, okay, we take some tablet, take some pills to get rid of it. Then we move on and we never contemplate or said, this is painful feeling. This is part of the body's condition, nature. So I guess part of it is because you have learned from Buddhism that having a body is having suffering, having dukkha. Because the body will constantly be needing care. You have to constantly look after it, feed it, clothe it, and when it gets sick, you have to remedy it with some medicine and so forth. So it's constantly causing you pain, really. Or you were so much more involved with other things, so you just didn't think about these bodies too much. As long as it can support your desire, your craving, then you don't worry about it. But the Buddha said we should contemplate that eventually the body is gonna get older and older. It's gonna get sicker and sicker, and it's gonna die. So it will remind you that the body is not something you want to rely on as your source of happiness.
I noticed that I'm sorry.
Rely on your meditation practice. You can be happy even when the body gets old, gets sick, or die.
I'm noticing that I'm contemplating more sickness and dying, getting older as well, and realizing that really the mind is separate from the body. But I'm noticing also that I'm not really still able to really detach the two. So I guess that there's not enough wisdom there to see it yet. But am I on the right path? I mean, am I following the right steps?
Yes, the more you meditate, the more you will be able to separate the mind from the body. When eventually when you enter into jhana, the mind and the body will be separated temporarily. And when you return, when you come out of your jhana, you can then keep using contemplation to remind yourself that you are not the body. The body is just your servant. You're the master. You tell the body what to do. So when the body gets sick, you know that it's just the body that gets sick. It's not you. You're the thinker. You're the knower. You don't get sick. With the body. You don't get old with the body. You don't die with the body. So I constantly teach you your mind this way. So to overcome your delusion for thinking the body is you, then eventually you can let go of your attachment.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Now this is a process of learning and teaching your mind and training your mind to switch the way you look at the body from being yourself to being not yourself.
I'm trying to I'm noticing that now I'm worried less about how people perceive me, and I'm feeling more peace because of that. And at the same time, I notice also, and I know that this is a bad thing. This is probably my ego still that I need to beat down. But I'm starting to feel anger towards people that are trying to involve me in things like the work, for instance, or talking about certain objects, and I don't like it, and I go away from it. I try to shy away from it, but I'm feeling aversion, which is not a nice feeling. But it's interesting to observe how it comes up and goes away. But I'm also noticing that my ego is still there. And I really liked what Ajaan said last week about the pounding of the tiger. And I'm trying to keep that one in my mind every time when there's a discussion going on. It's like, don't try to get out of it, just listen to it and undergo it, and don't try to put fuel on the fire, and just try to listen. And if there's things that are happening, then deal with it. I know that with my wife, I have discussions every now and then, and it's difficult to let my ego go. I'm noticing, but I'm at the same time I'm listening to what she's saying, and I know that my first reaction is not the right one. So I have to be quiet, and I have to step back and listen to what's being said. I still work a lot at that, but my ego is still a bit big, I think.
Yeah, be more of a knower rather than being a thinker. Just know, just be the one to receive information. Don't react to the information that you receive. And this is the way to stop your ego. Your reaction is the work of your ego. So when you don't react, then the ego disappears.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, anything else?
I think that I covered what I wrote down. Yeah, I'm noticing that my emotions are getting less strong because I'm trying to step back and see what's driving them. And I'm also trying to recollect certain things that happened in the past, just to see what caused the situation that might have happened, and what's the cause of certain traits that I've made myself have, um, by wanting to be liked by people. And I'm realizing that there was a lot of lack of self-esteem there, and I'm noticing that the confidence is growing since I've been keeping the precepts, and really giving into the precepts and living the precepts and thinking every step that I'm taking in the precepts. I really like that approach, and I like how it's helping me. At the same time, I do feel there's a little bit of a rift creating at my work, how I'm perceiving other people, I'm perceiving situations, but also with my family, for instance. And I think that's difficult, but at the same time, I do think I'm doing the right thing. But yeah, I guess that my ask is just keeping the contemplation there and trying to just observe it and not have an emotion about it. Is that the right approach?
That's
Because I
right.
don't want, yeah,
That's right. But you have to do this with meditation, or else you just be forcing yourself to not natural. But once you
yeah,
get into jhana, you get to equanimity, then it becomes natural for you just to be observing and not reacting. So do a lot of mindfulness and meditation. Do less contemplation now, really. What you need more is get the mind to become just an observer, a knower, and naturally. So you have to be in jhana. And then when you come out jhana, then you know how to be natural with your observing and not reacting. So
thank you, Ajahn.
meditation is very important. Yeah. But contemplation is also good. But when you haven't yet have any equanimity, I think you should focus on developing equanimity first.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. I'll see you again next week.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, good. Next, Koksing from Singapore.
Good evening, Prajan. Yeah, this evening, I'd like to ask
Recording
Prajan,
in progress.
yeah, about
Recording stopped.
Okay. Recently, I'm reading a book on the autobiography of Ajaan Suchart, this book, and there is this sentence here, which reads as follows. As night fell, the monks often congregated at Ajaan's hut to give him a massage and listen while he gave an inspiring Dharma teaching on the merits of training the mind with the powers of mindfulness and wisdom. Afterwards, he asked the monks to return to their huts to chant and meditate on their own. So, Prajan, may you kindly elaborate on what are the merits of training the mind?
Well, you will then be free from dukkha, be free from suffering. You have nibbana as the merit, that's the supreme goal of meditation, using mindfulness and wisdom. Ultimate goal, not supreme goal, but ultimate. Ultimately, we want to reach nibbana, where we will have complete, total happiness at all times, and our mind will be fully contented, so we don't need to take birth anymore.
Okay, so that is the merits of training the mind.
Yeah, or you can go into detail, like you will attain to the 4 level of enlightenment, reaching Sotapanna, Sakidakami, Anakami, and Arahant. This is the result from your practice of mindfulness and wisdom.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Prajan.
All right, is that all?
Yes, that's all.
Okay, go to Steph now. Hi, Steph from Oregon. Early for you, huh? 6, 10.
Yes.
Hmm.
I wake the boys up in a minute. They go to school for the first day of the year. It's kind of crazy.
Okay, first day of school.
First day of school, yeah.
Yeah, okay. September.
Yeah, I guess I don't have any impermanence. Summer, it went by so fast, and I guess I never felt there's no ground. I don't know, there's no ground. It just keeps going, and I just feel that very strongly. I don't know, that's all.
We are living on a conveyor belt.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Reality just keep moving.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So I
you
don't know that I have
should
a question, but yeah.
you shouldn't hang on to anything. Just flow with it. Flow with the event
Yeah.
and make yourself happy. That's all. Don't
Yeah.
make
That's what I'm
yourself
trying to do. I'm trying to do.
don't stress yourself. If you know the truth that life just constantly moving, changing, and you cannot expect things to be what you like to be.
That's what I'm trying to work on. Just let it go.
Let it go.
Hands off.
Be happy with whatever happened.
Yeah.
Do whatever you can.
Yeah.
What you cannot do, then just let it be.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's good. So thank you very much, Ajaan. Thank you.
Okay, good. Next, go to Rohini. Hi, Rohini from the UK. Where are you in the UK? In London?
Croydon.
Croydon. Which
Yeah.
part of it in England?
It is about 25 miles from Croydon. Sorry, 25 miles from London.
Oh, not too far then. Okay.
South of London.
It's a suburb, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay, anything for you?
I have no questions for now, but my practice is okay. Trying hard to improve the mindfulness.
Yes,
And,
that's the key. That's the key to
yeah.
your success.
And I do sitting and walking meditation alternatively because I'm retired, so I have enough time during the day. So mindfulness is not good, but I think it's improving.
It takes
Yes.
time. It takes time.
Yeah.
Be patient.
So
Keep watching your
yeah,
body. Keep watching your body. Or focus on recite the mantra Bhutto Bhutto.
yeah, I tried that, but it doesn't work for me because I do for about 10-15 minutes and then my mind slip away. Then I try to focus on my breath even when I'm not sitting. I'm not
But
quite sure
you
if it will
should
work.
if you're not doing anything, it's okay to focus on your breath. But if you're
Yes,
doing something, then you should focus on what you do instead.
yes, that's what I do. Like when
Okay.
I'm washing dishes or something, I focus on that activity.
That's
But
right.
sometimes the mind slip away again, and then to prevent mind slipping away while I'm doing something like washing, then I focus on my breath as well at the same time.
As long as you don't do your work improperly, you have to be sure that you know what you're doing. Especially when you use a knife or something, you have to make sure you don't cut yourself with a knife while watching your breath.
Yeah, that is at the moment I'm a bit struggling.
Yeah, but if you can use the breath to bring your mind back, it's okay. But once the mind is back, then you should focus on what you do so that you don't make mistakes from what you do.
Yeah, I will try. But on sitting is I think better on focus on breathing.
Yes, you can do that. Once you sit, your body not do anything anymore, then you don't have to watch your body. So you do your breath instead.
Yes, I will. Ajahn, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I have many questions, but the answers to those questions are all in your Dhamma books because I read all the books. So, and also listen to your Dhamma talk. So,
Have you read the Four Foundation of Mindfulness?
oh, yes, I have yes, I got only
You should read it.
first
You
part,
should read,
only
yeah,
the
first part, yeah, the
first
body
part,
part.
the Kayagati, yeah. So
Okay.
I have, I read it, and I have the Pali version as well as, the Sinhala, I'm from Sri Lanka, so the Sinhalese version.
Yes.
Yeah, Yes, I do have the both Pali and the Sinhala
And
version,
English,
and also English version. So
yeah.
only the first part.
Yeah, that's good enough because that's the most
Yeah.
important part. We have to start with the body first, with mindfulness practice first.
Would Ajahn advise to chant that one while I'm sitting, or how should I?
No, if you can watch your breath, then you don't need to chant. But if you find that your mind is still running all over the place, then you might want to bring it back by using the chanting or reciting of the sutta.
Okay, like sitting on a chair, not in a meditation posture. You see, like sitting on a chair, so I can chant that one to prevent my mind slipping away.
That's also, but the point is, I want you to understand what the Buddha is talking about, mindfulness.
Yes, I do. Yes,
I
yes,
think that there's two parts of this called what clear comprehension of your body movement, walking,
yeah.
standing, sitting, the four posture, and clear comprehension on what you do, I think, with your body. Whether
In one they say, the like when you're walking, you concentrate on walking, and there's another one, it's called Kayagati Sati, I think. When you are turning head, you need to, or moving hands.
know exactly what you're doing.
Yes. Oh.
That's how close you want to watch your body. Every action of the body, turning of the head to the left, to the right. If you sit
Yes.
and you get up, you have to know that you're changing your posture already.
Okay. I will try.
Okay.
It's hard, but I will.
It takes
Thank you.
time. It's learning a new trick, really. That's all it is. It's hard to treat an old dog a new trick, but it's not impossible. It's just have to be patient.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you,
All
Ajahn.
right,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Namaskar, Ajahn. Ajahn, talking about mindfulness, mindfulness of the body, movement, do we also have to be mindful of the feelings in us?
No, just don't
Not
worry
yet.
about feeling. Just watch the body, that's all. Just watch what the body is doing, whether it's standing, sitting, walking, or lying down, or eating, or washing, or do whatever activities. Just tie the mind to the body. You don't want the mind to run away to the past, to the present, to the future. You want to bring the mind in the present. Keep the mind in the present and not thinking about anything.
Thanks.
Okay? Try to do it all day. See if you can do that. From the time you get up, as soon as you awake, start watching your body. Which position is his body now? It's lying down. Okay. Now it's getting up, sitting, then standing, then it's walking, and it's doing washing the face, brushing the teeth, and so forth. Just keep watching every activity of the body. This will restrain your mind from running, thinking about other things. When you have strong mindfulness, when you meditate, you can tell the mind to stay with the breath, and it will stay with the breath. It won't go away.
My mindfulness is still weak. I mean, I try to do it, after a while, I forgot. I will think about something else.
I know. You see, your habit wants to just let the mind run all over the place.
Yeah. When you enjoy doing that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of something else, yeah.
It takes time to learn a new trick, to reprogram your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Thank you.
You need right effort.
Yes.
Keep doing it. Yeah. Never give up. Then one day you will succeed.
I hope so. Thanks.
No one can do it for you. You're the only person that can do this for yourself. Attahi atano nato. You are your own refuge. Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Kek Yenso from Penang.
Ajahn, good evening.
Good
Ajahn,
evening.
one of my friends asking whether he or she still can have the bank account after they renounce as a monk, monastic house.
Yes, you can have bank account because
Mhm.
the bank is like somebody who you trust and let them keep the money for you. See, once you become a monk, we're not supposed to keep the money or handle the money directly. We have to have someone else to do it for us, someone to keep the money. And if we need to get something, we have to have someone to go and buy things for us. We're not supposed to carry the money with us and spend it as we like, anytime, anywhere.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
But the purpose of having money is really to support your body. That's the principal purpose. Like maybe sometimes you might want to buy some medicine or something that you don't get from Dana, and you have to have some money to buy it. But not for leisure, like pleasure, buying a new phone or going someplace for a holiday or something like this. This is not the purpose for spending the money. It's supposed to support the livelihood of the body so that the body can then follow the teaching of the Buddha. Okay.
Thanks, Ajahn. Yeah.
You're welcome. Next, Sarasi from Geneva. Are you still in Geneva?
Yes, Ajahn. Hello, Ajahn. How are you? I'm
Good.
Eva.
Okay. See your sister? She's on the screen also.
Yeah, I saw her.
Okay. What can I do for you?
Yes, Ajahn, I have one question. It's about a person's desire to become a Sotapanna. So does that feeling has any ego or does it promote personality view? The idea itself of becoming a Sotapanna, that I should become Sotapanna. So does it promote any ego or any sort of personality
Oh,
view? Or?
you have to start from where you are, and where you are, you have ego. But eventually, the goal is to become egoless by the time you get to your enlightenment. See? So right now, don't worry about having an ego or not. We all have ego. We still have atta. We still think the body as being ourselves. See? But the goal is to study the nature of the body and see that there's no self in the body. And then once you have studied it, theoretically, you have to prove it. How do you prove it? You have to let go, not worry anything about what happens to your body, whether it's getting old or getting sick or dying. You should not have any worry or anxiety toward the body. That's the practice. That's the goal of the practice. Let go of your attachment. Let go of your delusion, thinking that the body is you. You feel bad because you think the body is you. See, whatever happens to the body, you feel bad. But if you have studied and practiced meditation, then you say, by seeing the body as being myself, I'm causing myself a lot of suffering. If I don't want to suffer, then I must see the body not being myself. When other people's body, you don't care what happened to them. Well, you should look at the body, your body, just like you look at other people's body, because they are the same. They're not your body.
Yeah.
So that's where you want to go if you want to become a Sotapanna.
Through that idea, we finally tend to reduce the personality view. So there is we should not worry about I mean, about the idea that becoming a Sotapanna is actually whether it promotes ego or not. That's what.
No, it doesn't. Having a goal doesn't mean you are promoting any ego. You have first to know where you want to go, right? You have to, then you can then set up the path to go toward toward your goal. We all want to be Sotapanna, so we have to find out how to become a Sotapanna. We have to practice meditation. We have to practice wisdom. First, we have to develop mindfulness so that we can meditate and enter into jhana. When we enter into jhana, we see that the body and the mind is temporarily separated. Then when you come out of jhana, your body and the mind reunite again. So then you have to use wisdom to constantly tell yourself that you are the mind. The body is not you. You're the master of the body. You tell the body what to do. The body is your servant. That's all it is. It's just a servant. And it's made from the four elements. From the food you eat, from the water you drink, from the air you breathe, and from the heat you get from the sun. They combine and create the 32 parts of the body. That's all it is. And when the body stops functioning, the four elements will then separate from the body. You have to see the start and end of the body, the whole process of starting to the end, starting with conception in the womb, by the combination of the four elements of your father and your mother, we call sperm and eggs. They are elements, right? They are hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and so forth. They are elements. There's no self in that body. It's just the mind that comes into possession of this body, connect to this body. Then in the mind, having no body, having no visible body. So when it sees the body after it comes out of the womb, it thinks that it becomes a body. That's all. You getting what I'm saying? You have to trace the path of creation to the path to the end of the body, from conception to death, to the total dissolution of the body. Eventually, when the body dies, then the four elements will separate. And eventually, you can see it's just the earth element, the skeleton, which eventually will turn into earth. The water element evaporate. The heat element separate.
Yes.
The wind element leave the body. So you can see the remaining is just the earth element. Where is the cell? Or you can go through the 32 parts of the body. How many parts you have in the body? 32 parts. You can then analyze each part and ask yourself, is the hair me? What happened when I cut the hair? When I shave the hair from my body, do I still exist? Yes. So you must not be the hair, right? What happened when I lose my teeth? Are you still here? You're still here. The teeth gone, but you're still here. So how can you be the teeth at the same time? So you have to use common sense or rationality to teach the mind to overcome your deeply rooted delusion. You just claim the body to be you, that's all. That's just a claim with no basis of fact to support your claim. So you have to use truth to overcome your delusion. Separate the 32 parts and ask yourself each, am I the hair? Am I the teeth? Am I the nail? Am I the skin? Am I the flesh? Am I the heart, the lungs? And you'll find that you're not any of these things. They are just parts, organs. So where are you? You're in the mind. You're the thinker. You think about the body. It's just your thinking. It's like a fiction you write. You write a fiction book, a book on fiction. You can write anything, right? As a fiction writer, you can create many characters. You can destroy anything. But it's just fiction. There's no truth. Nothing to support this fiction at all. So eventually you'll say, well, the body is not me, definitely. I am the mind. I am the thinker. I'm the one who tells the body what to do.
The knowing element and the conscious awareness, Ajahn, does it the same? I mean,
Yes,
the knowing, they are.
the knowing element have 5 properties. It can connect to the body, so it can receive the sensual objects from the body. Then it can perceive these sensual objects, or remember these sensual objects. Once it knows these sensual objects, it analyzes. When you see an image, the mind analyzes what type of image is this. Is it a good image or is it a bad image? Is it good for me or is it bad for me? When it's good, then you get good feeling from that image. If it's bad for you, you have bad feeling from that image. This is the property of the mind, to analyze and to have feeling, to arising from these images. And then once you have feeling, then you have thinking. What should I do with this feeling? If it's good feeling, you want to maintain it. If it's bad feeling, you want to get rid of it. How do you get rid of it? You have to get rid of the image that caused you to have bad feeling, right? So this is sankhara. Then you tell the body what to do. Get rid of that person. Get rid of this thing. This is the working of the mind, the property of the mind. Besides knowing, the principal property is knowing. It's only the mind that knows, nothing else. No, the body doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
It can see image, it can hear sound, but it doesn't know what it sees or what it hears. It's the mind that interpret or analyze. So right now you want to first analyze the body, to separate the mind from the body first. Then later on you have to separate the self from the mind also, because the self is just a fiction. It's just a creation of the delusion, the thinking of the mind. This is another step, another level of getting rid of your ego, or your perception of ego, or delusion of ego. There's no ego, there's just function, properties, mental properties like feeling, thinking, seeing, thinking, remembering, and conscious or connecting of the sensual objects, and conscious of the thoughts, knowing the thought and feeling. This is all the working of the mind. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn.
There are a lot of things you have to learn.
Yes.
We never been taught this way. We've been taught to look at the body as me from the time of birth. Your mother and father said, "This is you. This is your name." So you remember and you become attached to this body. Oh, this is me. This is my body. But had you been instructed by the Buddha, then you'll get different information.
That this is not me.
Yeah, that's right. He taught his son. His son was ordained as a samanera, as a novice. I think at the age of about 6 or 7. And then he been taught by the Buddha and chaperoned by his right-hand disciple, I think the Venerable Sariputta. Eventually, he became enlightened. Once he being fed the right information. Right now, we all being fed with the wrong information, delusional information. So once the body is you want to protect it, you want to make it happy, you want to feed it, you want to so forth. And then you end up going after resources against other body, other people. Then eventually you start to have to fight, compete to get the resources you want. Then we have war and destruction.
It's all because of this delusional idea of
Self.
self.
When you meditate, when your mind stops thinking, then the delusion of self disappear temporarily from your mind. All that is left is just knowing. There is knowing, but there's someone who knows is not there. There's no someone who knows. There's just knowing. There is thinking, but someone who thinks. There's no someone who thinks. Just thinking. You have to meditate in order for you to be able to get deep inside your mind, to see the working on your mind.
Yes. Last week I went to a monastery in Switzerland. I stayed there 5 days, Ajaan. So
Yes.
from that I realized that mindfulness is not strong enough. And because from morning till the end of the day, that's the purpose of my visit, to be mindful and to do every task that we are assigned to in the monastery in a mindful manner. So because of that, I always had the time to be mindful and sort of like judge me. And I realized that my mindfulness is in all actions not very good and not strong enough.
Yes, you're just enrolling into a new school, Buddhism. So you have to start from the beginning, from the kindergarten level. So it takes time to develop. Just keep doing it. As long as you persist in going to school and practice, then you will eventually get to the goal. Okay.
Thank you very much, Praja.
Is this the same monastery where Professor Kenneth goes to?
Yes,
Dhammatalk,
I
yeah.
met last time when I visited there to offer a dana. I met Professor Kenneth and Claudia and one of your other students as well, Ajaan. I think she joins your Thai group of Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a friend of a Thai lady who lives in Switzerland also.
Yes.
I
So
think
we
she
had
have.
like a lot of students of you.
Mm,
We met. We were like very happy. We met each other, and it was really nice.
okay, try to go as often as you can, rather than going on a holiday, but go to a monastery, go to learn new tricks.
Yes, Ajahn.
We have a lot of things to learn yet, yeah, so don't be complacent. And time is running out also. You're getting
Yes.
older and older. So forget about sensual pleasure. It doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you stuck in samsara. That's what sensual pleasure will do for you. If you want to get out of samsara, you have to forgo sensual pleasures and go for meditation pleasures. Okay?
Thank you very much, Prajan. I wish you good health and
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. See you again next time.
Yes, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay. Go to LA now. Cool. You're in LA, right?
Yes, I'm in LA. Hi, Ajaan. I have a question about feelings. I know they're pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. And I see I think it's easier to see pleasant and unpleasant as impermanent feelings, but neutral, is there a way I can understand neutral feelings as impermanent?
Yes, when you have pleasant feeling, you lose your neutral feeling. Really, it's gone. Or when you have painful feeling, then you don't have neutral feeling. It's only when you have no painful pleasant feeling, that's when you got neutral feeling. So they're just changing like a pendulum of the clock. You know, it swing from pleasant to neutral to unpleasant and swing back and forth like this all the time. But neutral feeling, it doesn't matter so much. What really matters is the one that you attach to, which is your pleasant feeling. You attach to pleasant feeling and you want to have pleasant feeling all the time. So when you don't have pleasant feeling, you feel miserable. So you want to overcome, get rid of this misery by accepting that pleasant feeling also don't last. It comes and goes. Then eventually you won't have any you won't have any misery when feeling change from good to bad, from pleasant to unpleasant or neutral, because this is the way it works. It's like the work of nature, like the work of the climate changing all the time, changing from cold to hot to rain, and you cannot stop or prevent it. It's just part of life. But you don't have to be miserable. You can live under any type of feelings. It's just that you have to reprogram your mind not to be attached to only one feeling.
Yeah, I think I attach to many feelings, but neutral feeling, I thought I understood that as kind of the goal. To feel neutral was to not,
No,
be caught up.
this is not the goal. It's part of feeling. The goal is to have contentment, to be happy with whatever type of feeling you have. Good feeling, pleasant feeling, neutral feeling. You can be happy with all of them. That's the goal. Because you cannot control these feelings. See, they keep changing all the time. So the best thing to do with them is to be happy with any type. Then you will always be happy. If you can be happy with painful feeling, then okay, when pain comes up, you're happy. If you can be happy with pleasant feeling when it comes up, okay, you're happy. You can be happy with neutral feeling, okay, when it comes up, you're happy. To be happy with all these three feelings, you must not have any attachment toward them or aversion for them, toward them. Just practice equanimity. That's what we want in order to deal with the changing situation, changing feeling. Right now, we don't have equanimity. We keep reacting with aversion or with attraction. And then we start to create misery from having aversion or attraction.
I understand now.
Okay. So the
Thank
goal
you,
is
Ajahn.
to be merely accepting, acknowledging, observing. Things keep changing. Everything is like the weather. I always compare things like the weather. The weather keeps changing, and we tend to be able to deal with the weather, right? Because we know that we cannot do anything else. We cannot change the weather. So we just have to learn to live with the weather. So we should try to learn to live with everything that changes, because we cannot change them. We might be able to change some of them, but this is the delusional to think that you can always change things, control things, give things the way you want it. So this is why we meditate, to get to equanimity. Once we have equanimity, then we can just accepting without any emotional reaction, without aversion, love, hate, fear, or delusion. Okay.
Yes, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Ken, Professor Ken from Switzerland. I think school starts again for you now, huh?
Good afternoon, Ajaan. No, I still have another 2 weeks before it starts, so
Good.
still free. But I had to go back to Scotland for a short time to take care of my mother for a while.
Mhm.
So I'm back here again.
Yes, your mother is someone you should serve as much as possible.
Yeah, she's needing a bit more care now. She just has a diagnosis of dementia, and so I had to go back and look after a few things. So
Mhm.
I gave that a high priority.
Good.
It was very, very good actually to be together for a while.
Mhm. The Buddha gave priority to his mother, even she died when he was 7 days old. But once he became enlightened, he searched for her in the spiritual world. And when he finally found her, he connected with her and taught her the Dhamma until she became a Sotapanna.
Yeah.
So maybe you can teach her some Dhamma when you see her.
Yeah.
Tell her, Mom, your body is not you. Don't worry about it. Give it up. Let it go.
Yeah, I think her mind, her attitude is quite good. She has a strong Christian background, and she is fairly grounded in that, and knows the
From dust to dust, yeah.
dust to dust, ashes to ashes, and so on. She knows it's coming, and her mind is okay. So I don't have to go and teach her Dhamma. Just look after her needs. That's my goal.
Unless she wants to discuss with you, then you can talk to her about the Dhamma.
Yeah, I think she thinks I'm a bit weird in that respect, but she respects it, and so it's okay. So yeah, when I was there doing that, I was just recalling the teaching that you've just given us, Tanajan, about the importance of respecting, looking after our parents. So that was I found it was a very beneficial thing to do for her and for myself. So thank you for that teaching.
Yes, because without them, we will never be here today. They're the one who gave us birth and feed us and raise us. So the benefit that they have done for us, we could never repay. So we should never forget and try to repay as much as we can. It's not a debt, but it's an obligation. It's common sense for people that you should, be grateful to someone who has been beneficial to you. And if you can help and pay back, you should do it.
Okay.
It gives you a good feeling because it's an act of charity, really.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt that very much. Yeah.
Good. Anything else you like to say?
That was all, Tanajan. Just also mentioned that, as Sarasi mentioned, we all just happened to meet up at the Dhammapala, which was very nice. There was Kuntawiza was there as well, and Kunpiyamat.
Yes, and somebody brought the book that she printed, I think in German, right? I think.
Yeah, Kuntawiza had the book printed.
Dhamma in English, volume 2 or something like that.
That's the one that Claudia translated. Yeah.
Okay, not the sensual pleasure one.
No, it's the Dhamma for the Asking, volume 2.
Okay.
Dhamma in English.
Yeah, volume 2.
It's the one with the Skype sessions with Singapore.
Yeah, okay. It's been printed already. I think someone will hand deliver it when they go to Switzerland. I think they'll carry with them.
Yeah, I think all the books are still in Thailand, so we have to bring them here.
Okay, good.
Okay, Dhanajan, thank you very much. Thank you.
Next. Kamanji, your turn now.
Hello, Dhanajan.
How are you? Happy?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any question?
Yes, sir. I
Go
have
ahead.
about 6 questions.
Okay.
I just want to know, is it consciousness that goes throughout samsara, taking many body shapes? What's the exact term in Pali for consciousness?
The mind, mano, or chitta.
Is it correct to say that it's consciousness that go throughout samsara, taking many body shapes?
Well, the word consciousness is just a translation of the word knowing, the knowing
Okay.
element. So it's more like knowing, the one who knows.
Knowing.
And sometimes they refer to consciousness as vijnana, the one that connects to the body.
Okay. So what's the exact Pali term is mano?
Mano or chitta.
Chitta. Okay.
Mm.
Asthanajan, is it correct if I put the Buddhist explanation of death like this? Death occurs when the consciousness, often referred to as vijnana, leaves the body.
I'm not sure. I think death occurs when there's no breath. When there's no breath, then the connection of the mind will be severed.
Okay.
That's why the Buddha teaches us to look at the breath. He said, when you breathe in and when you don't breathe out, you die. When you breathe out and you don't breathe in, you die. So death occurs at the end of the breath.
Okay. Now, according to modern science, brain death.
Still not dead, according to Buddhism. You're still breathing. You're not dead yet.
Okay. There are brain death and death due to heart failure.
Whatever, as long as you're still breathing, you see, the mind is still connected to the body. It will be disconnected when there is no breathing.
Okay, whether it's brain death or heart death. What I meant was in modern science, there are brain death and death due to heart failure are considered two different in the sense it's not the same. What I asked was, is the Buddhist concept of death the same as brain death or heart death? Or how does it differ?
Well, it's still living, it's still functioning. See? It's just that it cannot do what the mind tell it to do, that's all. You cannot tell the body to go run or to go places or do things anymore.
Yeah, thank you, Thanajan. And yesterday I was reading a Dhammatalk by Venerable Ajaan Suchart. Now I have a quote from that Dhammatalk where Venerable Thanajan says, meditation is like a single stick of wood. Insight, that is Vipassana, is one end of the stick and calmness the other. And he goes on, if we pick it up, does only one end come up or do both? He asks. When anyone picks up a stick, both ends rise together. Which part then is Vipassana and which is Samatha? Where does one end and the other begin? They are both the mind. As the mind becomes peaceful, initially the peace will arise from the serenity of Samatha. So, Tanajan, according to this, we should make Samatha a foundation for Vipassana, and clinging to calmness alone will not do. As he states, it's like a stick where one end is Samatha, the other end is Vipassana.
Yes, these are tools we use to overcome our cravings. First, we need to have samatha, calm the mind down, to have equanimity, to have the strength to stop the cravings. But the samatha can only stop the craving temporarily. So once you can stop the craving temporarily, the next step is to use wisdom to teach the mind to give up your craving permanently. So these are two steps to eventually eliminate your craving permanently. First, you stop it by using mindfulness meditation, and when you enter into jhana, your craving stops. Craving only works when your mind thinks. When your mind don't think, then it cannot work. When you think of food, then you can have craving for food, right? But when you're not thinking about food, then craving for food cannot arise. So when you're not thinking at all, then no craving can happen. But you can only remain in jhana briefly, temporarily, not permanently. So you have to come out sooner or later. When you come out, then you start to think. Then your craving can come back up again. So you want to use wisdom this time to teach the mind not to do what your craving asks you to do, because what the craving asks you to do is not a permanent solution. That is not permanent happiness. Whatever you crave for can only give you temporary happiness because they are anicca, temporary, and you cannot always keep it because they are anatta. They come and go of their own accord. So this is wisdom, to see that when you crave for something, don't go for it. Stop your craving instead. And when you stop your craving, then you might become peaceful and calm and contented. It's your craving that causes your mind to be irritated, to be hungry, to be empty, feeling empty. But when you stop the cravings, and when the craving actually stops, then you might become full, complete, and contented. So this is two level of practice to eliminate your cravings, your defilements.
And Ajaan, if we have a desire to pursue our higher education, such as a PhD, is it also craving? Is it not something good?
Well, it depends on what you want to use the word good. If you want to continue in samsara, it's good. Have higher education so you can earn more money and enjoy sensual pleasure more. But it's gonna end at that. When you get old, get sick, or die, then the pleasure that you get from sensual pleasure will turn into suffering. And then when you die, you come back and be born again, and you have to restart your education again. You have to go to school again and learn again. Repeat the same process, and you've been doing this for countless of numbers of rebirths, and it will keep on going like this without an end. The only way to stop this is to stop your craving, even for your higher education. Craving for material things, all the four Dhamma objects like money, wealth, status, and sensual pleasure. You have to give it all up because they are like drugs. You can become addicted to them. They are addiction, and you have to keep coming back for them. After your body dies, you have to find a new body to come back and go look after them again. Go after them again.
Because Ajaan, why I asked that was some time back I got selected to do a PhD, but due to some reasons I couldn't do that. But sometimes I feel sad about it. Sometimes I feel as though I could have done that despite those maybe difficulties or whatever. Now, but back then I used to feel very sad about it, but that sadness or that feeling is not strong now. I don't have such a desire to do a PhD now, because even I can now apply and get selected to do one and go, but now it's less intense, the desire. So I think it's good then, no? Because back then, maybe 5 years back, I really regretted that I didn't do it because I got a good chance. That's why I raised that question. So you said it's up to me to decide, right?
Yeah, it depends on how you want to look at it. It can be good if you want to live a happy samsara life. Then you need to have higher degree because then you enable you to make more money, so you can live more comfortably. But it's a temporary type of happiness. Eventually, when your body get old, get sick, or die, then you won't be able to enjoy it anymore.
And
But-
during, yes,
But your
Yes.
aspiration for Nibbana, this will enable your mind to always be happy regardless of the condition of the body.
okay. And during the Buddha's time, even little children like Sopaka, they just they were able to achieve Nibbana without much maybe Buddhist exposure to much Buddhism or anything. They managed to become arhants just
That's
by
right.
seeing the Buddha. That was something from samsara that they must have.
The Buddha didn't send his son to college. The Buddha gave his son novice ordination as soon as
Okay.
he asked for his inheritance. Then the Buddha said, your
Okay.
inheritance is Nibbana. Come and be ordained.
Yeah, okay. And I was talking about this Sopaka. There was a child called, not Buddha's child. Sopaka, he just saw Buddha and he managed to become, he entered the Buddha Sasana, and at the end he became an arhat.
Yes,
So he
once you
didn't
have,
have any, yeah.
once you have trust or you have confidence in the Buddha's teaching, then you'll follow and practice his teaching.
He didn't have
then-
any sort of formal education or anything.
You don't need many of the Thai master, forest Thai tradition master. They don't have any formal education. Some of them can't even read.
Okay.
But this is not necessary. All you have to know is how to meditate, how to be mindful.
And how to study the body, the true nature of the body.
Yeah, and you can learn from the teaching of your teacher. You don't have to read books or anything like that. Your teacher will give you a lecture and tell you how to investigate the body, for instance.
Okay. Have two more questions. Do you have the time?
Yes, plenty of time.
Last week, Ajaan, you mentioned that staying mindful throughout life can help prevent illnesses such as dementia. Dementia means the loss of cognitive function. Could you explain how mindfulness can be used to combat illnesses such as dementia? I mean, are you suggesting that being mindful from a young age helps prevent forgetfulness, or is it that reducing the complexity of our thoughts through mindfulness can help prevent dementia?
Because when you're mindful, you know what you're doing, right? So that you don't forget once you know what you did. I did this, I just ate, so you remember that. See? But if you have dementia, sometimes you ate and then you forget that you have eaten. That's because you're not mindful. You might be eating, but your mind might be somewhere else on cloud nine or somewhere, thinking about something else. So you forget, you don't remember that you have just eaten. So when you're mindful, you know every step of what your action is. And so once you know, you can remember it.
So we have to develop mindfulness from a very young age.
You can do it now. You can do it now. Doesn't matter. It's better late than never. So don't say, "Oh, I'm too old to learn." There's never too old to learn in Buddhism. You can learn.
Even a very old person can learn.
Yes. Maybe it might be harder, more difficult than when you're younger.
Okay. Sultan Ajaan, how should society view monks who leave the monastic life to enjoy material comforts? In a recent social media discussion, a local Buddhist monk mentioned that in the Buddha's time, a monk, I can't remember the name of the monk who lived in the Buddha's time, he disrobed multiple times thinking lay life was better, but eventually he returned and became an arhat. But usually in today's setup, people are very critical of monks who leave the monastic life. So my question is, Ajaan, what should lay people think of monks who disrobe? Should we be so critical of them, or should we give them another chance?
Monks are like students who goes to college. After you study and sometimes you fail, you drop out. And then later on, you decide to go back and try again. So you do it again. That's all. Buddhism is like a school. It's like a university. It's a boarding school. We live in the school, study at the school. But sometimes we just cannot do the courses and we fail, so we give up. So we return as a layman for a while, but then after a while you feel you have the strength to return again, so you go back again.
Okay. So that we shouldn't be too critical of this.
No, you shouldn't worry about them. I think you're critical because you expect them to be noble disciple, all of them, but they're not. Someone asked the Buddha that the Buddha taught his student to go to Nibbana, but somehow not every student the Buddha taught goes to Nibbana. They asked him why. The Buddha said, I don't know. I'm just a teacher. I taught them the way, but if they don't go, what can I do? So people have different mental faculties. The ability to follow the teaching varies from person to person. So the stronger mental faculties you have, then the more likelihood that you'll be able to become enlightened, or quicker or sooner than someone who had lesser mental faculty. It would require them to take more time to develop. But eventually, if you don't give up, you will succeed.
And Ajaan, this is related to your autobiography. In your autobiography, you have mentioned that the owner of the ice cream parlor where you worked earlier as a layperson tried to give you a salary increment when you told him that you want to resign to lead a religious life. There you have mentioned that he didn't believe that you really want to leave, and he just asked you that. I just want to know that did that person ever visit you after you became a Buddhist monk?
Did that person?
That person, the owner of the ice cream parlor where you worked?
Oh, we have no connection once I left
Okay.
the store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did any of your lay friends come to see you after you became a Buddhist monk?
No, because I didn't tell them that when I became a monk. Before I became a monk, I isolated myself for 1 year, practicing living alone, no social contact with anybody. So when I out there, I didn't tell anybody, and where I went, nobody knew. So I more or less was just a lost person, as far as they're concerned. This is good because if they know you, they'll come and visit you, and then this can cause you the old desire to come up. The desire to.
It's good that if they come and maybe learn the Dhamma from you, so that they can.
I wasn't ready to teach anyone yet. I was still a student. I was still studying.
Yeah.
Even my mother, she only came to see me once. I told her not to come, but she insisted.
Okay. Yeah, I read that. Yes, Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
And how is change defined in Buddhism? I think I read one of the Buddhist texts that you recommended. Can I read out a part from that, a very brief part? Do you have the time? Yeah, it says the sum total of philosophy of change taught in Buddhism is that all component things that have conditioned existence are a process and not a group of abiding entities, but the changes occur in such rapid succession that people regard mind and body as static entities. They do not see their arising and their breaking up, but regard them unitarily, see them as a lump of whole, and it says jnana sanya. So I just want to know, what does Buddhism teach about the nature of change in mind and body, and why do people mistakenly perceive them as static entities rather than as a continuous process of arising and breaking up?
Because they don't see it that way. So they see the body as something permanent.
Okay. because the change occurs in such a rapid pace, they don't see that it's happening?
No, it's the change is so slow. You don't see that you're getting old every day.
Okay.
But you
don't
only see the
see it.
difference if you take a photo 5 years ago and look at it and compare to today. Then you say, "Oh,
Okay.
I have grown. I have became older."
Okay.
The process of change is slow as far as the body is concerned.
Okay.
But the mind, the feeling, they're constantly changing all the
Okay.
time. But we don't notice it. We just flow with it. We just try to manage them, then try to watch them instead of looking at them, studying them. We just try to manage them. As soon as we have bad feeling, we try to get rid of it. And we don't have it when we have neutral feeling, we start to look for good feeling.
Okay.
So we're not studying the nature of the body or the mind. We just use the body as our instrument to go after our cravings. That's all. So we never understand the nature of our body or of the mind until we come and read the Buddha's teaching.
Okay. I mean, our thoughts, the changes in the mind take place very rapidly, but changes in the body, that's a slow process. Is it correct if I put it that way? Because thoughts, of course, every second thoughts may change, and we feel that we get different thoughts may arise and cease. But when it comes to body, we don't feel that our body is subjected to change because as you said, it takes a long time.
Yes, it's a slow process. You don't notice the change easily.
Okay.
Unlike the mind. But then you don't also know the mind changing because you never look at it that way.
Okay. That's all for today, Thanajan.
Okay, thank you for
Nice
your
talking to
question.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you
okay.
so much.
Keep coming back for more. I think it's helpful for other people to hear too.
Thank you so much, Thanajan. Wish you
Okay.
good luck and happiness. Thank you. Good
Okay.
health and happiness.
Next, I'll go to Lynn in Indonesia.
Good evening, Thanajan.
Yes, good evening to you.
I've got some questions regarding my meditation practice. Just want to ask for your advice also. I used to have painful feelings like pain as my meditation object. While I was sitting or maybe standing for meditation, I could feel the pain like in different forms. It could be like as if I was walking on fire, or maybe the nails were drilled into me, to my bones, and my bones are sort of like being cut off. So it took for a while for me to see the pain rising and passing away. Sometimes will take for more than 4 or 5 hours until the pain passing or disappears. What I want to ask is, after the pain vanishes, I've got that peacefulness and the joy. So what kind of mental state is this? And am I practicing correctly? Because I was told that we need to focus on the breath instead of the body sensation, which is the pain. So I would like to ask Pan Ajahn for the advice. Thank you.
Well, if you achieve calm and peace from this, it's okay. The goal is to have peace and equanimity. Do you have equanimity? Do you feel contented? Do you have any love, hate, fear, delusion during that time? That's what you want to achieve.
Yeah, I did actually. So
because there are many ways for practice to get you to that point, to equanimity, to singularity of mind, to be merely knowing and not thinking, and just be content and happy being there, just existing. If you can get to that point by whatever method, that's okay. But generally, the Buddha taught the anapanasati method in there. But it's not exclusively only this one method. But there are many other methods that you can use. Some people use the images of colors or as the point of focus, as the object of focus. If you want to use pain as the object of focus, you have to wait for the pain to arise first.
That's true. Yeah.
And
And
then
it took
when
a while.
yeah, and then you just keep focusing on that pain, watching that pain, and not allowing your mind to go think about anything. I used to do using painful as an object of meditation once by focusing. When I first started, I used mindfulness of breathing, but then after a while, the body started to become painful. Then I switch and say, I'll use this painful as the object by imagining the pain like fire burning my body. So I start to just imagine that this fire is getting bigger, growing. Eventually, it engulfed my whole entire body. And then the fire will keep burning until the body turn into ashes, and it just collapses, and the body becomes part of the floor that I sit. And the mind became calm and peaceful, and perceive that the body is just part of the floor that I sit, and the floor that I sit is part of the ground that it stands on. So actually, the body is just earth element. But the mind becomes so peaceful and content. You can use that painful as an object of your meditation if you find it suitable for you. So that eventually, when you get sick, like you might get cancer and you have painful feeling, you can then use this painful feeling as your meditation object. Instead of being miserable, you can become calm and peaceful from this painful feeling.
And it is easier to use, for me, to use painful feelings as the...
Yeah. But eventually the goal is for us to train the mind not to have aversion for painful feeling.
That's true.
We should have equanimity for the painful feeling. Then it comes and go. No aversion. When there's no aversion, then there will be no suffering.
So is that more easier? Oh, sorry, yeah.
It becomes vipassana. So you can see the nature of feeling that is not only pleasant, sometimes it can become unpleasant, it can become painful. But the mind can live with any type of feelings. This is what we want to train the mind to do.
Yeah, that's right. So when the painful feeling arises, I can see sometimes it is very big wave, and sometimes it can be very soft and very smooth before it finally subsided.
Yes, whatever method you use, as long as eventually the mind becomes calm and the pain disappears.
Is this what we call samadhi, or?
I don't know the name. It didn't say. It doesn't matter what the name is. It's the state of the condition of the mind that we want. Peace and contentment.
So if I can see that rising and passing away, is that a kind of anicca? Seeing the anicca?
Seeing it not enough, seeing it and then have no reaction toward it. That's the more important thing. Seeing things and leaving them alone. Have no attraction or aversion for them. Let them come and go as they like.
So what would you suggest me to practice more?
Well, I suggest you to learn that the pain is part of the body nature. And the body will be painful, will get sick and become painful. And we have to be able to live with it, accommodate it, and not be miserable by it. just to be able to accept aging, sickness, and death of the body. By stopping our cravings or aversion for the body. We tend to have aversion. We don't want the body to get old, get sick, or die. And this is causing us misery or suffering. If we if we accept aging, sickness, and death, then there will be no suffering in the mind. So you have at least managed the painful thing. The next thing that you have to deal with is death of the body. And you let go of the body and not being affected by the death of the body or not. You can try this by exposing your body to some form of danger, like go spend a night in the wild forest by yourself among the wild animals, and see how your mind reacts under such condition. If your mind remain calm in equanimity, then it's okay. You have no fear of death. Yeah. But if your mind start to have fear, then you have to somehow teach the mind to get rid of this fear by accepting death as something that you cannot avoid, not stopping it. When the time for it to come, it will happen. Once you can accept death, then there will be no fear.
I have a plan to stay in the monastery for 3 months, starting from October. So maybe there could be a chance for me to practice.
Yeah, try it. Just have to. The goal is to be able to leave the body alone, let the body get old, get sick, or die. Because the mind is not the body, but the delusion mislead us to think that the body is us. So anything happens to the body, we feel terrible. We should not feel terrible, because we should look at the body like we look at other people's body. Right? We don't feel terrible by other people's body, whether they get old, get sick, or die. Likewise, we should also look at the body like that, our body like that. Not our body, somebody else's body. Your parents' body. Your parents gave this body to you. Actually, it belongs to them, right?
That's true.
Maybe they give you on loan. One day they want it back. It's all on loan from nature, from the 4 elements. One day you will have to give it back to the 4 elements. From dust to dust. Yeah. So this is what we want to do, to teach the mind to let go and let it be, let the body be. Okay.
Thank you very much, Ajahn. That was very well explained. Thank you.
Yeah, in order to do this, you have to have equanimity. That's why you have to meditate to enter to jhana. Okay, good. Next, we'll go to New Zealand. Hi, Anura and Ramya.
Good evening, Ajahn. You, after a long time, we haven't joined for some time, about 3 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice. I guess there's so many people coming in.
Yeah. Now we decided to join today. Woke up with an alarm. So it's a lot of teaching. Thank you, Ajahn. I have no special question. Have you got any? Yeah.
How about you, Ramya?
Yeah, I'm practicing mindfulness and wisdom. Continue. Amen.
Yeah, the first one is with mindfulness first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without mindfulness, you won't have wisdom. Wisdom will just be sanya instead of panya. Be just memory. You read about something, then the next day you forget. But with wisdom, you never forget.
Yeah.
And not to forget, you have to have mindfulness. To keep reminding yourself. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Ajaan.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah.
Next, Nining from Indonesia.
Yeah, Ajahn. Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes, anything?
Yeah, I have the question. It's regarding the video in the Dhamma in English YouTube. When there is a question that about like this, all the time my practice stuck at states of calmness, emptiness, pointed concentration, how to go one step ahead. And then Ajahn replied that once we come out from samadhi, we have to study and investigating everything as impermanent, to see everything as anicca, dukkha, and anatta. And then my question is, how do we know that we have enough equanimity so that we can practice vipassana?
You don't have to know, you just practice, you just study the nature of things. Like can you study the nature of the things that you possess, like your money?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your money permanent or not permanent?
Not permanent.
Okay. Will you be sad when you lose money or not?
No, not anymore. Now
Okay.
not anymore.
Okay, then you have equanimity if you're not sad.
Yeah.
If you're
Because
sad, then you don't have enough equanimity yet.
yeah, because like the question of Lin from Indonesia, he used the painful feeling for the practice. Actually, I ignore painful feeling for many years. For example, I have the stone bladder on my bladder, and it's very painful. But I just ignore it until one day it just come out from my body, and when it come out, I don't have I mean, yeah, I'm happy, but not too much, not the euphoria, just like, oh, it's already out from my body, just like that. So I live for many years, I live by ignoring many painful feelings. So now is it good or not? Because sometimes if it is easy for me if to ignore painful and bad situation. I just not take I just take it for granted like that.
Okay, I think it's not the word ignoring you should use. I think you should accepting everything that happens because you cannot change them.
Yeah.
Accept them with equanimity, no reaction, no sadness, no fear.
Yeah, and then if I am calm enough in my daily life, I mean, I'm troubled and then patient and then I'm happy. Can I just do sitting meditation only when I start to have anger and have bad reaction on my mind? Is it correct?
Well, meditation is a tool that you want to maintain, so you should practice it regularly. Because when you're angry, then you can stop it if you meditate regularly. But if you don't meditate regularly, when you get angry, sometimes you cannot stop it.
Oh, I see.
So you'll see the reason why when you cannot stop your defilement, then you say, okay, I don't have enough equanimity. I don't meditate enough. So you have to meditate more in order for you to be able to stop your defilement.
So, because lately I enjoy my daily life by investigating everything as anicca, dukkha, and anatta, using that three characteristic. So I just enjoy and happy, and then I try to be mindful in everything. And then sometimes the day just pass, and then already night, and then I just sleep. Before
what you investigate is not real yet. It doesn't happen. It doesn't have any impact on your mind yet. You wait until you have cancer and you go to see, the doctor say you only have 6 months left, and see if you can still remain happy or not.
If the question is no, I think I believe I'm happy because I don't have any craving anymore. I mean, I don't have any craving for material things, and also I use my time wisely. I mean, with my own capability. I believe I'm already all out, so I can. I mean,
It's just belief. See, it's not real yet. Go live alone in the forest for a while, having nothing at all.
yeah, even in Wat Yan, I see the crocodile. I see the big crocodile, and I'm very surprised, Ajahn. In Wat Yan, there is crocodile in Lotus Pond.
It's
So-
not crocodile.
Crocodile, it's crocodile. I see the crocodile, the big one,
Okay.
and the eel. They live together. So at that time, I just wondering. So can I live in the forest alone because there is tiger and also the other wild animal? Yeah, that's my question at the time.
It's just not the animals also, but you have to leave your comfort zone to see. You're still living surrounded by all the comfort of your physical body. You have a good house, you have all the meals, all the food you want to eat, all the drinks you want to drink. Try to be without them for a while, see what it's like.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I know.
They're impermanent, right? So try to get rid of everything and just be alone without anything around you to support you.
Yeah, I will. If there is any chance, I will take that experience.
Yeah, you're still living surrounded by your comfort zone. You have everything that you want. You can have anything you want to drink, anything you want to eat. Try to fast, having no food for a few days. See whether you can still be happy or not.
Yeah, but if I try to practice like that, I have an empty house. So can I mean can I put all the food my required for practice at that house, and then I practice with that food, or how, Ajahn, how to?
You have to think. This is something you have to think. I cannot give you precise instruction, but you want to test yourself whether you can live without any comfort, anything to support you. Just being alone, just like a homeless person sleeping on the street.
I see.
Don't know whether you're gonna have food tomorrow or not. Don't know how safe you are, so forth.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You have to get into the real situation, not just by theory, by thinking about it.
Oh, I see. Because I believe just on my mind, not in the real situation.
And the real situation, you still live in a comfortable place. You have all the things that you need. Try to go and live without anything that you need. See how you will react to such a situation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Next, Ryan from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes. Can I help you?
Yeah, just to expand on the earlier questions. So I suppose by putting ourselves in these situations where we don't have our external comforts and our own belongings is to bring up the suffering so that we can eventually overcome it. Is that correct?
Yes, you have to test yourself. Like you study the theory that everything is impermanent. So now you have to expose to the impermanence of everything. Used to have something around you, now suddenly nothing is, you have nothing around you to serve you but yourself. No food to eat for a few days, see how you react. Fast for a few days. Turn off your cell phone, don't get any in contact with anybody. Turn off your air conditioner or the artificial support. Try to live naturally. Live with nature.
Like a monk, essentially.
Yeah, that's what basically you have to be exposed to the real thing, not just the theory of it.
And so the idea is to, once I'm in such a situation and I experience the suffering of not having all the things that I used to have, so
Yes.
I'm supposed to see that there is no self in any of these things so that I can overcome that suffering.
Yes, especially there's no self in the body. That's our problem. We need everything because we think we are the body and the body needs to have so many things. But we forget that eventually the body will end up dead one day. It's gonna die. So why don't you try to expose your body to such a condition to see how you deal with it. No food, no place to sleep, no safe place to sleep, nothing to see or hear or do, not just like wandering in the forest by yourself. See if you can be happy. If you're happy, then you're okay. If you're not happy, if you're miserable, then this is something you have to fix. You should be able to be happy even without the existence of your body, because eventually you're gonna have to lose your body, right?
Yes. So we need to use samatha and vipassana to investigate this body so that we overcome that sense of self, and that will allow us to make us happy even in such difficult situations.
Yes, you have to overcome your attachment, clinging to your body, thinking the body is you. You're not the body. You're the user of the body.
So all the defilements that we have, they're all rooted in the body. It's because we think we are this body, therefore there is all the craving for all the external sense pleasures and all the belongings.
Yes, it comes from our craving for sensual pleasure, which causes us to go take possession of our body. Because without the body, we cannot access the sensual objects to have sensual pleasures. So we become attached and we rely on the body as the mean of getting pleasure from the sensual object. So we love the body, we cherish the body, we want to protect and save the body for as long as possible. But if you can meditate and you can become happy with meditation, then you can give up your sensual pleasure. Then your attachment to your body can then be severed because you don't need the body anymore. Then it doesn't matter what happens to your body, whether it get old, get sick, or die, or whether it lacks all the necessary requisite of life. You just let it be. Live with whatever you have. You can. If you cannot exist, then if the body cannot exist, then you're happy just to let it go.
I think it goes back to me not meditating enough in that case.
Yeah. If you're not happy mentally, then you need to use the body to make you happy. You need to see, to hear, to eat, to drink, to make you happy. But if you can have meditation to make you happy, then you don't need to use the body. And whatever happens to the body will not bother you. Okay?
To put in more effort. Thank you, Ajahn.
Switch the way of having pleasure. Instead of sensual pleasure, seek the pleasure from meditation. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any questions, just listening to all the questions tonight.
Okay, Abrachita from Dubai. We have to go a little bit faster now because we're running out of time and there's still quite a lot of people waiting.
No questions, Ajahn. Just wanted to pay my respects. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, you happy with your practice?
Yes, I'm practicing. I'm putting in the effort. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Next, Intan from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes, what can I help you?
No, Ajahn. Thank you for Ajahn answer last week and Ajahn remind. So I know my force. I know that I think with my delusion, not with my wisdom. So I will improve myself.
Okay,
Thank you, Ajahn.
you're welcome. Go to Saket and Nita from California.
No questions, Ajahn. Thank you so much for all the wonderful teachings of today. They're very insightful and so much food for thought today. Thank you.
Okay, and you, Saket?
I had a question, Ajahn. I was wondering, so right now in America, we are coming out of a 3-day weekend. And I was thinking if you could advise, what is the good way to get into work? Because sometimes we feel a lot of aversion or a lot of, we are not excited to go back to work after a long holiday. What is the right way to approach this?
Just to be thankful that you still have a job. Because without a job, you will suffer. Do you want to lose your job or not?
I would like right now to keep my job, yes.
Okay, then go to work. If you don't go to work, you get fired.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, simple, isn't it?
It is, it is.
You want to get the pay, but you don't want to put in the work.
Yes.
But nobody pay you for nothing. They pay you for your work.
Yeah.
In the past, we have a Thai government who has this slogan, let's say, money is work, work is money. Yeah. And they give you happiness, both money and work.
Something
Right?
for me to contemplate
Yeah.
on.
Money is work, work is money. Makes you happy. Okay. I think you're ready to go back to work now today.
Well, thank you, Ajahn. I will contemplate on this, and I do hope to retire soon. And I'm trying to save up for that. But I also think that maybe there's some more that I need to contemplate here. And thank you.
Well, if you have enough money to exist without working, then you can stop working. You don't need to work the entire life. Okay.
Yes, Ajahn.
Happy retirement.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, B. Ravin from Bangkok. You're still working, right?
Yes, Prajan, I'm still working
You
full
think
time.
you think about quitting and become a monk?
Not yet, but I do have plans to maybe become a monk temporarily. I think it
Okay.
would be good for me to at least get a glimpse of what it's like to lead a monastic life. It's one of my life goals. So that is something I plan to do.
One of your
when the time comes.
bucket list, yeah?
Yes. If to put it that way, yes.
Okay.
And given we have limited time, I just want to reflect on your teachings today. I realized that it's very important that I try to stay more patient, especially with my meditation. I realized that before I try to attempt to use wisdom, I need to really calm my mind, not just calm it, but calm it long enough so that if I want to try to apply wisdom, it will be beneficial. Because I think what Prajan you mentioned about, contemplation of the body, getting rid of the fear of aging, sickness, and death, it's very easy to think about those things, but when coming to face with the real situation, it's actually very hard to actually not fear them. So I realized that I need strong meditation to try and break the kilesa that binds my mind
Yes,
to
you
the
need
fear.
strong equanimity. Because when you have equanimity, your mindfulness suppress your defilement from reacting. But it's still there. You need to remove it with wisdom eventually.
Yes, I observed that even when after I come out of meditation, if I have a good session, the calmness only stays temporarily. After a while, it will subside.
Yes, because you start to think and your mind become restless and agitated again. So you
So
have
the
to
key,
you have to continue maintaining mindfulness even after your meditation. If you want to keep some resemblance of calm that you have achieved in your meditation.
yes, and I admit it's quite hard because sometimes after I meditate, I sometimes give myself a nice pat on the back, oh, job well done. I just finished meditating, and then I lose mindfulness afterwards.
Then you reward yourself with maybe a beer or an ice cream or a cup of coffee.
Beer, no. Coffee, possibly. Yes. So I really appreciate the reflections that you mentioned today about really keeping the mind as calm for as long as possible. I realize that it's important for me to do it more consistently and not to get carried away by just temporarily calmness, because it's not wisdom, it's just samadhi.
But you need it to support your wisdom. Without it, you won't be able to stop your cravings. Even you know that you have to stop your craving, but you cannot stop it without samadhi, without equanimity.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything
Thank
else?
you, Prajan. Not for now. Thank you, Prajan.
Okay, go to Diana. Hi, Diana.
Yeah.
You have any question ready to ask?
Hello, Ajaan Suchart. I can just listen today.
Okay, no question.
Some questions were coming from what I was hearing, so I would like to listen to the teaching again today because my connection of internet was bad again. But I just keep practicing. I had a visit at my mother's home. I tried to serve her. I would say I was like half successful. So it's already good.
Yeah.
I wasn't as successful serving as I wanted to be, because my own ego was getting in the way, and also the needs of my child were getting in the way, and I was trying to manage both of them, and it was challenging. So like to take care of one, I had to like pause, like I had to take care of my daughter, I had to put my mom on hold a little bit. And then I tried to explain, but then see, my mom is older now, so I think she's having a lot more childlike emotional reactions. And then I realized I also need to treat her more like more gentle, like a child, like give her much more time, like not expecting her to be the same adult, strong person she used to be. And it's very confusing because she still looks very strong and healthy, and she projects herself that way. So I made some mistakes with that, and some tension was there, and I still don't know what to do with the aversion that I have towards the tension. But I think from what I was hearing, like I still need to practice more mindfulness, like that it's just like an anatta, like less attachment, that it's passing, because in the end it all passed. The night it was gone, and she was reacting differently. Maybe she was tired, maybe she was needing more rest and things like that. So I will keep focusing on serving her more. It's just that turns out that I need to serve my daughter more also now. So we'll just I'll do what I can and see if in the middle of that I can also find time for my own practice. One thing I noticed is when we returned from my mom's home is my daughter's reaction, how more minimal my apartment is. And I'm okay with it, but she isn't necessarily. So, but after some time, she was crying a lot, that it wasn't as comfortable. And it's true, it's not as comfortable. It's it's much, much less, because it's I don't need so much anymore. But now that I'm aware that my daughter might need more comfort, we might need a day buffer to do that, because she was very overreactive. She's okay now. And I don't know, maybe she's not liking that it's just her and I now again, instead of a bigger family. I don't know. But I'm always very happy for these sessions, and just I need to practice more. Right now I'm just doing a lot of serving my mom and my daughter. And now, yeah. And I get angry about that too, because I'd like to do more sitting. I'd like to do more mindfulness, but yeah.
But serving is also a way of practice. It's charity.
Say it again.
Serving your mother is a form of practice. It's charity, the practice of charity, giving happiness to other people.
Yeah.
And you can become happy that way also.
Yes,
Yes,
I really enjoy that. I cleaned her home. And she was very happy about that. Before, she wouldn't let me clean her home. So, but she was unhappy about asking me to do it. But once she did, it was okay. It's only when it's in conflict that my daughter needs to be taken out or be paid attention to. So I haven't worked out the balance out yet.
Okay. Let's play by the ear.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay, good luck to you. Next, Lisa Chu. Hi, Lisa. Is this your first time here?
Hello, good evening, Ajaan. Namo Buddhaya. No, this is my second time here.
From Singapore?
No, I'm from Malaysia.
Okay.
It's in the Mahamangala Sutta, and there is a line in Pali that says Natakanan cha Sangaho. I guess it translates to something that sounds like helping relatives as one of the 38 blessings. And I guess my question is that one may have like relatives that tend to have the tendency to take more than they give or feel more entitled. And I wondered, what is the Buddhist approach to this situation?
You give according to their needs. If they need, and if you can give them, help them with their need, give it. But if they can exist without your help, then you don't have to give them.
All right. And the other question I have is with regards to the fourth precept. It's like the Musavada. So basically, I always go for lunch and coffee with my friends, and I try to stick to the weather, to recipe, to exercises, but we tend to gossip in the end. And I try to just give the mandatory O and R, and I'm really proud of myself, that I didn't participate in it. But in the evening, while I was having dinner with my mom, I caught myself repeating every single gossip to my mom. And like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Because it's like in the mind, And I wondered what I should do here. The next time I go for coffee and tea, do I just shut them out completely? Or do I just try to be more mindful? Because it's just part of my social life.
This fourth precept is usually referred just to not lying, just saying the truth. But as far as gossiping, and these are not really included in the five precepts. It's for those who ordain, people like me. I shouldn't engage in this kind of conversation. But for laymen, lay people who keeps the 8 or 5 precept, the fourth precept means you don't lie. That's all. But you can still talk, having chatter, gossip. But it's not good. But the goal is to try not to do it if you can.
All right, thank you. That helps.
It doesn't consider to be breaking the fourth precept.
All right, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Good evening, Dhammatalk.
Yes, how are you? Good?
Good. A lot of Lisa. I take it as signs of purification. After
Sign
on
of
my
no mindfulness,
Mm.
lack of control, mind control, not controlling your mind enough.
So I'm working with mantra, chanting, to anchor on that.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Ajahn, how do we sometimes we have fair weather friends, like such friends. How do we see that?
See your friend? That's what?
Like fair weather friends.
Fair weather, what do you mean fair weather?
Fair weather friends, like friends who are only available during good times.
Oh, you just have to look at it. This is natural. People usually cling to you when you're happy, when you have something for them. But when you got nothing for them, then they won't come around. So don't expect friends during hard times. You won't find one. If you find one, then you're lucky. A friend indeed is a friend in need. A friend in need is a friend indeed. So if you don't have them, don't feel bad because most people are not real friends. They're friends because you have something to give them. That's why they hang around with you. But if they have to give you something, then they usually won't hang around with you. Okay. So it's better to live alone. Don't expect anything from anybody. Self-reliant. Attahi atano nato, the Buddha said. Okay.
What does that mean, Ajahn?
Attahi atano nato. You are your own refuge. Don't rely on other people as a refuge to you. Rely on yourself. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Tanajan.
Next, Gary, any question?
No question tonight, Tanajan. Just happy to be listening. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Kunjuk now. Do we have any question?
กราบนมัสการท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ We have 3 questions and they're all from the assistant Gmail account. The first question is from Maurice Demock from the UK. In Buddhism, is there forgiveness? What if I have already broken the precepts? Can I be forgiven?
In Buddhism, we have forgiveness, but forgiveness is not to erase or wipe out our bad karma. This we cannot do. Buddhism teaches us to forgive people who hurt us, who make us mad or angry. We should not hold any grudge toward them.
The next question is from Yeti. There is a constant battle inside my mind where my thought is replying to another thought I have. Can Ajahn advise me on this?
Yes, to stop them both by reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto.
And the last question, if I want to block my own chattering mind, can I listen to your Dhammatalk while doing daily activities like eating, cooking, cleaning? Is this mindfulness?
You can try doing it if it can stop your mind from chattering. But I think I would prefer using the mantra Bhutto Bhutto will be better, I think. Try it anyway. Try both methods. Use mantra Bhutto Bhutto, or you can listen to Dhammatalk and see how it works.
That is all, Ka.
Okay. I think that's about all for tonight. That's all the time we have. Thank you for your company. I hope this meeting is helpful, useful to you, and can help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, be mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you,
Thank you, Dhamma.
Thank you,
Bye,
Tanajan.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn. Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Good night, everyone.
Everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.
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 ขอบคุณพี่แอดมินทุกคนนะครับสวัสดีค
อ
รับ
นุโมทนาค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ อนุ
บ๊าย
โม
บา
ทนาย ค่ะ